Hey, what's going on? So I want to talk to you about reconnecting to your higher purpose, kind of like your soul's purpose, and how chiropractic is really fundamentally working to improve that on its own. I love this topic, and I think it's just absolutely fascinating because I am, just like many of you, we're on a journey of personal development. We're here to try to improve ourselves and, reconnect to, what our true purpose in life is and what we're supposed to do, and to be able to have an enriched experience, to enjoy life to its fullest potential. And I really think that that's probably at the root of almost everybody's time here on earth and what they're searching for. And so this is a very personal topic, and one that's very satisfying to share and discuss with you. Now, what you need to know is that I'm going to give you a few of my understandings or my beliefs on things that I've kind of come to realize over time and through study, is that there's something that's animating us, that is allowing things to work in our bodies and then in the world around us that is beyond our wildest imagination. Right? We can't really understand it at all in a way that we kind of use our educated mind to think through the processes. A single cell, just one cell, we can't fully understand how that works. We can't understand how life works. We can describe it, we can study it, we can learn, but just like any good researcher will tell you, for every answer we get 10 more questions than we have the answers to. So we're just on this journey of trying to learn more information and study and study and study. And there's a lot of times people actually think that we know everything there is to know about the world, or that we know everything about the human body, and it's just completely false. It's not correct at all. We know about as much in maybe the tip of my fingernail about the body and how it works, let alone how can we actually go about putting this back together and making sure that we can actually do something to fix the body by our own understanding of it. So what this dives into real quickly is that we have to trust in the universal intelligence and the innate intelligence that's running our body. You have trillions and trillions of bits of information that are going from your brain to your body and sending those signals to control and coordinate everything in your body. And it really exceeds the limits of what we understand, even what the nervous system can do. The nervous system is limited in its speed of communication, and we're talking about electrical signals here, right? So there's electrical signals that are going from the brain through the nerves into the cells, and that's what's helping to shape and coordinate all of those cells that they can run. New research is actually showing that there's too much that's being processed in the body for that connection between through electrical signals. There's too much that's happening for electricity to be the communicator, which has led people to start looking into photon energy, meaning that you're light. And there's a lot of research that had been kind of disregarded years ago, and now they've been uncovering Russian research that has been diving into this. And once the Iron Curtain dropped, this stuff is starting to be translated, and it's kind of making it over into Western societies, where they're actually looking on biophoton energy, meaning that your cells are emitting very small amounts of light, and light is carrying packages of information. And we understand that this is possible through fiber optics, but we don't think about it in the body, and how the body is actually giving off light. And even heat is a form of light. It's a type of vibrational transmission of signals. So when we're talking about communicating in the body, we're still having difficulties understanding and wrapping our minds around just the basics of how everything is kept coordinated and how it's all working. I think it is the coolest topic to explore, because really what we're doing is we're trying to understand how our body is connected, which really helps us to understand how our soul is operating and what that means, or what this higher level of self that we're trying to achieve is, right? If we're always trying to become our highest self, we're always trying to promote ourselves to the next level, we're always trying to grow, we're trying to ever expand, there is a kind of a goal and a destination. And how do you know that you're expanding in the right direction? You know, there's a lot of great philosophical debate and thought about that. But one thing that I can tell you very clearly is if you are sick and you are out of touch with yourself, if you have some sort of a breakdown in communication within your body, you're unable to come into this better alignment where you're able to express your higher self in a way that is powerful, in a way that is easily accessible. You take somebody who is kind of out of sorts entirely, they're sick, they're depressed, they're in pain, you know, they're not expressing a good version of themselves. They can't think clearly, they can't even feel. And a lot of times what happens is they get so disconnected from themselves that they don't even realize that they are disconnected. You know, a lot of these people are walking around on a day-to-day basis, and they're completely unaware that they have any problems. And you probably know those people. You know, it's blatantly obvious that there's an issue, and they don't even see it. You know, you can see this in people that are, you know, severe alcoholics or have substance abuse issues. They don't even realize that there's an issue, right? There's the whole denial, no, there's literally no issue. They literally don't see it. It's a complete blind spot. And it's a blind spot because people are literally disconnected from themselves. And what chiropractic does at its core is takes into the essence that the body is too complex for us to realize how it works and to be able to tinker and twist and, you know, dial the knobs one area or another, because literally you have over 100 trillion cells, and every one of those cells has billions of chemical reactions that are going on every single minute. And so how all this is being run, and then one chemical reaction affects another, and then the brain has to link it all up. Organs have to work in sync with one another. Timing mechanisms in the body are insane. There is environmental exposure to different factors like pollution. There's sound stimulation. There's light. There's literally changing of the seasons. The seasons and their circadian biology, literally we have inside every single one of our cells, we have like a circadian clock. So our body and every single cell has like a clock inside of it. They're called clock genes that are able to ascertain the timing of the earth and the changing of seasons, and probably a lot more than that as we continue to discover about it. How can all of this come together to make you? How can it happen? And it just blows your mind. It's really a mind-blowing discussion. It's a mind-blowing thought process. So to go in and think that we can tweak or modify something and know the right outcome that is necessary for you is very arrogant. What I love about chiropractic is that we are, our arrogance comes into play where we're saying, hey, we can find where these areas of miscommunication are. And what we can do is we can find it. If it shows up in the spine, we can eliminate that block through an adjustment. And what that does is that frees up the communication from your brain to your body to work the way it's supposed to. And in a way, what that's doing is that's giving you access to your higher self. That's giving you access to a higher level of processing that your body is doing subconsciously, and that subconscious is the energy that is driving you, the energy that is driving the world around us, right? That subconscious force could be considered nature, right? Or it can be considered within a human body, your spirit or your soul, innate intelligence. Call it what you want to call it, but what we're doing is we're helping to remove the blocks to express the greater version of you that is laying, not dormant, but it's just laying disconnected. And when we try to put blocks around it and barriers around it, we're not able to express ourselves to that highest level potential that you are absolutely capable of achieving. So this is just barely scratching the surface of a phenomenally deep topic, and a super cool topic that is just one that I'm very passionate about. And so if you have any questions, I'll probably do some more videos talking about this and diving deeper into different details and fleshing these things out, because it is just the coolest thing when you realize that you have a potential that far exceeds our ability to understand what that potential even might be, and that you have access to it. And one of the easy tools is to start getting adjusted so that you can actually access these higher levels and higher states of, not just state of mind, but states of consciousness or states of being. And it leads to a really fascinating, cool journey as you explore yourself on a higher level of self-development. So I'll let you chew on that, and I will talk to you on the next video.